to the Uncomplicated Perimenopause podcast. I'm Kate Grosvenor, your friendly perimenopause expert and life coach.
And I'm Gabriella, Kate's daughter, representing all the women who are nowhere near perimenopause but want to understand it better.
Whether you're just starting your perimenopause journey, deep into it, or you're a loved one trying to support someone who is, we've got you covered.
We'll be answering all of your burning questions, exploring the ups and downs, and sharing expert advice and personal insights.
So grab a cup of tea, get comfy, and let's dive into the wonderful, sometimes wild, world of perimenopause together.
And remember, no matter where you are on your journey, you are not alone.
Welcome to the Uncomplicated Perimenopause. Hello, my darlings, and welcome to episode 19 of the Uncomplicated Perimenopause podcast. I'm Kate Grosvenor, perimenopause expert and life coach.
And I'm Gabriella Grosvenor, Kate's daughter, here to learn with everyone.
With everyone
today?
Yeah,
not mixing it up.
Just for shits and giggles.
Because I'm learning.
Yes, you are.
But this is, I feel like it's become like a catchphrase.
Okay, fair play. So we're not recording on Sunday this week, we're recording on a random Thursday, and it's hailing outside, and I think that's very rude.
It's sunny. And it's hailing. Tell me you live in England without telling me you live in England.
Yes, 4 seasons in one day. You won't remember Crowded House, but there was a great song that they did back in the 90s called 4 Seasons. I think it was 4 Seasons in One Day. Listen to it, it's great.
I don't know who they are.
I'm having a resurgence of tunes because Rowan and Jenna, who are your younger sisters, are really into 80s hits and 90s hits. And sometimes I get back. The thing is, right, music takes you back to an era in your life. And sometimes I get into the car and they split my heart open in two without realising that they're doing it. Like they take me back to a heartbreak, or they take me back to kind of a really awkward time in my life without realising it. So I sometimes get into the car and, obviously I never get to play my music in the car.
No.
Heaven forbid.
No.
And they take me back to a place and time that I just don't really want to go. And sometimes I get into the car and it's great. We have a little sing-along and a boogie.
Yeah.
But just on the odd occasion, I go, oh, ow, oh, that hurt more than I thought it was going to. Anyway, 4 seasons in one day, Crowded House, beautiful song.
Okay. When we're done this.
Yes, we'll listen to it in the office, in the studio. So, yeah. So, my darling, as always,
Mama.
What is the question for today?
Okay. I'm not going to say what I usually say. That's not where I was going to start
on.
it. No, but hear me out with this. It's not that much of a question. It's just a bit more advice. It's not as perimenopause related, but it's really good.
You always say that, though. But I like that you like every question. Because you get to choose them. So,
exactly.
I mean, you should like the questions.
But this is more advice-based, so I'm curious.
Okay, hit me with it. Hit me with your rhythm stick. Hit me.
Hit me. So it's from Caroline.
Hi, Caroline.
She's from Nottingham.
Right.
I like that they tell us where they're from.
I know you do.
And needs some advice.
Yes.
So she's been divorced for 3 years now.
Okay, bless her.
And wants to get back into dating.
Oh, good. Oh,
yeah.
I can see where this one's going. Okay.
She's been on some dating apps and has gone on a few dates with men. And as soon as she feels like she's connecting with someone, they ghost her.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. She feels like to get her confidence back after getting ghosted and after getting divorced, she needs to be with someone again really quickly.
Okay. Yeah.
What am I doing wrong? How can I successfully date in perimenopause?
Okay.
And I just need to find my confidence in dating again, and I need to know where I'm going wrong. That's what I mean. It's not really perimenopause necessarily related, but it's a good one.
Yeah, it's a juicy one again, isn't it? Okay. Wow, there's so much there. Where do I start? Okay, first of all, Caroline, hi, sweetheart. I get you. I hear you. I've been married and divorced twice. So I've got that T-shirt and that badge and the whole sticker collection. Right. So I know how you feel, babes. First of all, a lot of women experience this, particularly in perimenopause. I don't want to say perimenopause is the trigger for divorce, but
No, we don't want to say that.
We're not saying that, but you get a lot less tolerant in perimenopause. Yeah. So your tolerance levels drop. So yes, 3 years is a perfectly reasonable time span to say, I want to start dating again, right? So it's easy to fall into the mindset to think that confidence must come from finding a new partner. Because in perimenopause, quite often a woman will feel like she's not confident in her body. We've talked about body confidence a lot in perimenopause because your body does change.
Yeah.
So if Caroline were my life coaching client, I'd talked about her relationship with her body.
Mm-hmm.
But many women in their early 40s in perimenopause will tell me that they've fallen out of love with their body.
We did another episode about it.
Yes.
Yeah.
So because their body changes, their skin changes, they don't like the way they look in the mirror anymore. So I will presume that, but Caroline, please forgive me if I've presumed wrong. Okay, darling. So it's easy to think that, well, if I date somebody and they tell me that they think I'm pretty or they think I'm, they start to say that I'm attractive, it's easy to gain confidence from that.
I don't think it's just even perimenopausal women. I think it's
it's
my
women in
age.
general.
Yeah.
But the problem with perimenopause is that your natural confidence falls because your body changes. So as we've talked about before, you can quite often, I think we've talked about it before, it's very difficult sometimes for me to remember what we've talked about because I talk in my perimenopause membership, I talk on TikTok, so I can't always remember where we've talked about it. But your body produces a secondary source, or you get a secondary source of estrogen from your fat cells around your tummy. So your body produces a secondary source, not as good a source of estrogen, but a secondary source of estrogen from kind of the fat cells around your tummy area. And so that's why a lot of women in perimenopause get like a little ring of fat around their tummy, and I don't want to do we'll do a podcast. I'm sure somebody will now ask me about it. So we tend to gain weight around our tummy, and that's why a lot of women say I'm gaining weight. I've got more weight around my midsection, around my tummy area, and they don't like it. But that's because your body's trying to give you that secondary source of estrogen, and because it's not producing it in your ovaries anymore. Long story, don't look confused. I can't go there.
New episode. Someone ask it, please.
Somebody ask it, and we have to do it one night. So they fall out of love with their bodies. The body starts to change. And so they believe that to get external validation is a really good thing because somebody else tells them that they're pretty, and it's easier. It's a cheap, right, please don't take this the wrong way, but it's a cheaper source of validation than doing the hard work.
Yeah. I know what you mean by cheap. It's not
as difficult.
Yeah.
Because when you look for external validation, that's what this is. This is external to you. Okay. Yeah. So somebody else tells you look pretty. Somebody else tells you you're desirable. And men on dating apps not always have good intentions.
No.
Some of them are here for a good time and not a long time. Some of them, unfortunately, do not have the best intentions. Some of them are not as single as they would make out they are.
Really?
Yes.
I don't know, because my age, they probably are.
Okay, so
I don't know about
disclaimer here. I met my partner on a dating app. We met on a dating app called Bumble. This is not a paid advertisement. But I used Bumble. I mean, I was on literally for hardly any time at all, as wasn't he. And we just met. I was talking to quite a few blokes. He wasn't talking to that many women, but I liked him because
That's good.
But I liked him because he was really championing whatever, what I do for a living. And he was like, I had an event the next day and he was like, go smash it. And
I think I remember.
And he was the only, because I told a few people what I do. And he was in one that was like, that is the coolest thing ever. No, a few of them were like, that's really cool. I really love what you do. But he was in one that remembered that the next morning I was on stage in front of like quite a big audience.
That's really cute.
And he messaged me on the morning that morning, went like, you go smash it. I know you're going to be great. And I was like, this is the guy for me.
Knowing him now, I'm not surprised.
Exactly right. Because he's like so super supportive and so really, really kind. So we met on a dating app, but I'd had a lot of, in the very, very short time I was on the dating apps, I'd had a lot of unwanted attention.
Yeah.
A few pictures that were unsolicited. One guy in particular wasn't single. I haven't told you about him.
But he told you that he wasn't single?
No.
How did you know then?
So going backwards in time, so this is the first guy that I thought, oh, he's really cute, he's really nice. So he would talk to me on the phone, but only in the evenings or randomly during the day. So he'd be like, oh, I'm out to just go and get something. I'll call you when I'm in the car. So he'd only talk to me in the car. He would only talk to me when he was popping out to do something.
Yeah.
And I just had completely naively didn't add it up. Then he would talk to me then he'd go on a work trip and he'd talk to me all the time. And then he was on his way back from a work trip and I just didn't hear from him. So I messaged him and was like, just let me know you're okay, like what's going on. And then he didn't. So we connected on Facebook, which he was really reluctant to do. And I thought, that's really bizarre. Why is he so reluctant to do this? Anyway, so after we connected on Facebook, I sent him a message when he came out from the trip going, listen, you know, I hope nothing's happened. I hope you're okay. Just let me know that you're okay. And then he just ghosted me. He completely disappeared.
You're a naughty boy, whoever you are. You're really naughty.
But the funny thing was, so I went on these dating apps twice. I went on dating apps, met somebody, dated him for a few weeks, wasn't for me. And that's when I'd spoken to him first. Anyway, so when I went back on and then I met my partner now, he popped up again and I just sent, and he swiped on me again. So I swiped on him and just sent him this whole string of laughing emojis and was like, really? ? And he went, he said, and then he wrote back to me and said, it's a long story. And I went,
always is.
And I just wrote back to him and I went, I have all night, ...
I'm sure I can keep up.
And he just never bothered himself. You know, it was just hilarious. Anyway, so you're looking for external validation from somebody. They're gonna love bomb you or shower you with compliments. That's going to give you this artificial boost. You're going to feel all glowy. You're going to feel all great. Bearing in mind, this is not coming from internally. This is coming externally. So when you give somebody the power to make you feel good, bearing in mind they may not have the best intentions. Evidently, okay? They also may be the walking wounded.
Yeah.
Meaning they may have just come out of a long-term relationship. They may be going through a shitty divorce because men, you've waited 3 years, Caroline. This is Caroline, isn't it? So Caroline's waited 3 years after she's got divorced to do this. They might have just left their wife last week.
Or not
left their wife at all. I'm not saying all men are like that. Please don't. But I had, based on my experience, and there are women that are calling men out. It's a new trend on TikTok.
I have not seen that, but I've seen some on Facebook, and guys.
Oh my God.
I love the screenshots of the messages of you finding out he's cheating. Oh my God, I'm so with you on that. I will defend you. Yes, we hate him. I don't know who you are.
And it's like when people are on planes and they're like, some guy sits next to them and they go, whoever Susanna in Baltimore is, just let you know your husband took off his wedding ring on flight, blah, 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 blah.
No.
Seriously, it's a thing. And then we go,
imagine finding out your husband's done that.
Yeah. And it's like girls' code, right?
Men, no.
It's not, but it's not all men, but it's yeah, anyway. So we don't want to put Caroline off because so my partner and I have been together for nearly 6 years.
Yeah.
We live together. We have a beautiful life together. He supports me endlessly in my business.
You went through COVID together.
We went through COVID together. He's very long suffering because I do a lot of stuff and he's so sweet and kind, and I'll be like, yeah, I'm working all weekend, and he just like leaves food parcels outside my door when I'm pulling weird shifts, and he's so sweet. So it's not all men. But the thing is, so somebody might love bomb you, even with a genuine connection, and you think it's going to work out. They may shower you with love. They may give you all this attention. And then they go, oh, do you know what? It's not for me, for whatever reason.
Yeah.
And they withdraw that affection. They withdraw that, you know. I'm not saying it's not genuine, but you don't know each other.
Yeah. But then they love bomb. So it makes you feel like he knows you.
This is the point. So with online dating, then, you know, you're just texting, you're doing all this stuff. So my dad is a criminal, as you know, criminal profiler, right? So we're both psychology-based people. Mm-hmm. So we have some interesting debates. My dad's very supportive of what I do. He loves what I do, and he edits a lot of my documents. He reviews my work for me. He proofreads my research for me. He's a sweetheart, isn't he? I mean, I'm lucky. I'm so lucky as a human. I'm surrounded by family that love what I do and support me. I'm genuinely blessed. Anyway, so when I first got divorced and I was going through online dating, as it happens, I said to my dad, I call him Da, what is the secret to love? It wasn't a question because I've been married twice, divorced twice, and I literally said to him, what is the secret of love? And he said to me, smelly eggs. So I said, so here we go. So I said to him, come on, it's got to be earth-shattering.
What, Grandpa?
Yeah. So I said to him, come on, it must be earth-shattering, right? There must be some handed down secret from the hands of time, you know?
Yeah.
And he said, there's two things. First of all, you have to believe somebody's a good egg.
Okay.
Like, you have to like their morals. You have to like them. You have to think that they're sound. You have to believe in them as a human being.
Yeah.
For example, if you believe that we should save the rainforest, and you believe that you know, that starving children in Africa, you know, need to be funded and stuff, they can't be kind of like burn the forest and everything for profit.
Yeah.
And, you know what I mean? There has to be like a meeting of minds. And the second thing is, and I was thinking, this is going to be profound. Like, this is going to blow my mind, right? This is going to like be earth-shattering.
Wise words from your father.
Yeah, I mean, like, he's been in psychology for 50-something years. This is going to be... And he just turned and said, you have to like their smell.
He told me something similar. Yeah.
And I was like, what?
Yeah, he said you're going to have to love somebody no matter what. Even when they wake up in the morning and scratch their ass first thing, you still have to find them attractive.
So basically, I was like, what? And he goes, basically, you pheromonally...
Yeah.
You have to be attracted to them. Yeah. So it doesn't matter if you think that they're best person on the planet, like they could be Gandhi and the Dalai Lama meets, you know,
Mother Teresa.
Do you know what I mean? They could be the best human being and the most intelligent and everything combined. But if you don't fancy them, it's over.
Yeah.
We've all had that person in our lives that we think, you are just the best human.
Yeah.
If only I fancied you.
Yeah.
If only... you did it for me.
Yeah. It's crazy how that...
I know, and it's such a shame.
And we've liked uglier people.
I have fancied...
Yes, you have.
Shut up. But I have fancied ugly humans, and I've fancied bad people.
Yeah.
But you can't explain it.
No.
But in order to feel love, they have to be a good human, a good egg, and you have to like their smell pheromonally.
But how would Caroline
I'm telling you, smelly eggs.
Yeah.
Right. So you can't do that online dating.
Mm-hmm.
So you can like them as a person. They could be a good egg.
Yeah.
When you're texting them.
Yeah. Yeah.
But you can't know if you fancy them until you meet them in person, because you can't smell them.
Yeah.
Like, you can't know the pheromones.
Mm-hmm.
So what I want to say to Caroline is, don't invest too much emotion. So a woman will persuade herself that she fancies a man, even if he doesn't meet her criteria, okay?
Because he makes sense on paper.
Because it makes sense on paper, and you think, oh, well, I'd have a good life with him. Because a woman, when she's dating a man, has already married him in her head.
Yeah, why did he do that?
And has already kind of like thought, well...
what kind of father is he going to be?
Or a father to his children. What kind of stepdad is he going to be? In Caroline's case, maybe if she's got kids, you know, and how would their families blend, and where they would spend Christmas, and who's family. And we've done it all, and we've had the dress.
We need to know the psychology behind that. Is there?
Someday my prince will come. Someday I'll find my love.
Yeah.
We grew up on bloody Disney.
Yeah, we did.
We did. All of us. Disney has got a lot to answer for. And so we've already done the wedding in our heads, unfortunately. And this is the problem, because we invest straight away, whether we do it deliberately, consciously, subconsciously, whatever, we've already invested, and we need to just chill a little bit more. Because what happens is, so we start chatting to this guy. He's lovely. He's oh my God, you're so interesting. Oh my God, you're so fabulous. Oh God, you're so witty. I could talk to you all night. I could just sit up and talk to you. You're so, don't tell me he doesn't. And so you're going, oh my God, it's so long since I've had somebody tell me that, because your ex was a complete pig, which is why you've
and talking till 3 a.m. to someone over text is like,
it's like, oh my God, it's so nice. So cuddly, so fabulous, right? Oh, you're so funny now. You're so funny now. I could talk to you. I could talk to you. Fantastic, right? Then you meet in person, and it's like, you're really quite boring. And then you go home and you say to your sisters or your mum or your girlfriend, well, I'll give him another chance. Because maybe he was tired after work.
Yeah.
I mean...
And he opened the car door for me.
Yeah.
So he was a gentleman.
I mean, there was a few awkward silences, but it was just the first date. I mean, there's bound to happen, right? Because we just don't know each other that well. I mean, I can't compare him to... insert X's name here, because we just know each other really well, right?
Yeah.
don't excuse the lack of chemistry. And a man will go, nah, she's not for me.
They won't excuse the lack of chemistry, so why do we?
Because we've already planned the wedding, or we've already just invested. And we have this thing called sunk investment. So we've invested 2 weeks of our time, we've got emotionally attached, we've already just, even if we're not planning the wedding, because that's not everybody, at our age we might not have done because we're like, no thank you. I mean,
do you not plan like growing old with someone?
Maybe. And for me, you know, bless Scott, he knows I will never get married again. I'd rather stick hot pins in my eyes. But no matter what's happened, if you've already invested, you go and you seek connection, you seek validation. And then when that's withdrawn, you sink down low because it's not come from you internally. It's been given to you externally. When it's then removed, you sink, you drop because you haven't provided it to yourself. So then what you do is you want to quickly go back and find it again from somebody else because you haven't provided it internally. It's been given to you externally. So the quickest way to get that feeling back up again is to go find somebody else to boost your confidence again.
That's exactly what she said,
Right. So then, you know, and because he ghosts you, which is emotionally really immature, by the way, and you would think, I mean, obviously, how's Karen, did she say? Well, she's perimenopause, so let's presume early 40s. So it's saying more about his lack of emotional maturity than it is you. But guys maybe don't like confrontation. And they're just like, switch off, disappear, next.
Yeah.
Because it's online dating, right?
Yeah.
So
have you never ghosted anyone?
No, I tell them.
Oh, okay.
But honesty is, I'm on the spectrum.
Yeah.
I don't do lack of honesty.
Yeah.
So I used to give everybody nicknames, and this is a really good idea because online dating can be brutal. So one of the ways I would say is a good way to go through online dating is to gamify it a little bit. But I used to give them nicknames because that made me feel less bad if something went wrong.
Yeah.
You know, it's just because then so one was called Peter Pan.
Because he never grew up.
Because he clearly hasn't ever grown up. He talked to me and it was like all over me. And then when we met up, he still went to Ibiza and he still wore like chunky, like wristbands like he was 19 years old and he was still going clubbing and he was in his late 40s. And his ex-wife was in her early 20s. No, I mean, like, and he talked to me like I was a frumpy middle-aged woman.
Ex-wife as well. Early 20s.
Yeah. And he talked to me like I was like a frumpy middle-aged woman when I was in my early 40s. So you can imagine what I used to look like in my early 40s. Yeah. And he was talking to me
pushing
like
50.
Yeah, and I was like hot, you know, and he was talking to me like I was frumpy and like no.
Well, you're pushing 60 now, Peter Pan.
Yeah, same. But so I used to call them all different nicknames because it was just like I used to give them a nickname and then bless and release them as their nickname. Bye-bye, Peter Pan. Off you go. Because then it was like bless and release. Because then he never contacted me again. Yeah. Because as soon as we met, we would both look at each other and we're like, no.
Yeah.
No, that's not.
Have you ever left a date early? Because he thought, no?
We just had a coffee. I ended up coaching him for an hour and we left. Because he had all kinds of problems. He'd been rejected by his birth mother twice. She rejected him and then he reached out to her when he was an adult after he got divorced and she rejected him again. So he had lots of issues going on.
That sucks.
Oh, yeah.
That's why he's Peter Pan.
That's why he's Peter Pan. So this is Mr. Ranorak. So Mr. Ranorak looked quite suave and sophisticated on his profile. And we arranged to meet at a kind of halfway in between our places for drinking, like a walk in the woods and then a drink in the pub.
Yeah.
And I pulled into the car park and I saw him sitting on a wall in his anorak. And it took all the power of my mum's voice in my head saying, don't be rude, don't be rude, don't be rude. Because I was just going to do a U-turn and go back out the car park and leave. And I just thought that's really unacceptable behaviour. You can't be that rude. But I really, really wanted to. Okay, like really, really wanted to. I was like, no, you can't be that rude. That's unacceptable behaviour. So I forced myself to get out of the car. So I was like, hi, and like this. And he was so aggressive, like passive aggressive to me all the time. So he was thinking of changing jobs at the time. And I was giving him advice. And he's like, I don't need your advice. Thank you. You don't know me. And I was like, okay, so then don't.
All right.
Yeah. It was like just horrid. And I couldn't wait to leave. Like I stayed for an hour, including the drink. Like that's how I was like, and I made some really lame excuse about going back for a dog that we didn't have. Like it was really like, Like, it was really bad.
You could have told me to call you. I would have been
You were
pretended to
away.
be the dog.
You were away. That was the thing. So I left, and then that evening I wrote him a message, and I just said, "It's really nice to meet you. Thank you for meeting me.
It wasn't.
But you have to be polite." Yeah. And I just said, unfortunately, there was no chemistry from my side. I do appreciate you getting to know me, taking time out of your life to meet me. However, there was no chemistry from my side, so I think we'll just leave it there. But I wish you all the best in your dating adventures, and hopefully you meet a compatible woman soon, and take care. He wrote back and said, "Well, seeing as your girls are away this week, why don't we just have fun? Because while the girls are away, the mum can play."
Cheeky shit.
I know. And while you're waiting for Mr. Right, I can keep you company. And then he made some sexual comments I won't share on air, but I just blocked him. And I was just like, that is disgusting. I've literally...
Even if you wanted that, not with someone that you didn't have chemistry with, I've just told you.
You basically...
I don't fancy you.
I found him physically repulsive. It took all
This is why you don't be that nice. You be honest and say, do you know what? I nearly turned around, mate, but out of respect, I didn't. But you're actually a bit of a twat, the way you talk to me. And you can't
say that on
you're not actually a very pleasant human, and you're a bit of a perv.
Yeah. But yeah, so that was like, oh my Lord.
And I wish you everything you deserve.
That was Mr. Manorak. Anyway, so men will ghost.
So it's not just you. She went through it too.
Yeah. What you have to understand is it's not a reflection of your self-worth.
Yeah.
It's not a reflection of your self-worth. It's the nature of online dating. And what I would say is focus on building up your own self-esteem. Recognize your own unique qualities and what you bring to a relationship. So when you feel truly confident with who you are, rejection, including ghosting, because ghosting is also will affect you less. And because your sense of self-worth will be stronger, it's just part of what goes on. So there's two things I want. If I can on my client, I would ask her to do things. First thing I would say is make a list, and this is very old hat, but it does work. Make a list of 12 qualities that you would love in a partner.
And 10 are non-negotiable.
You
told me to do that. Yeah.
So it helps you to settle less for people that you're going to... And the reason why this is so effective is it helps you to be less compromising.
So stuff like what, for example?
Well, you can be as shallow or as deep as you like.
Okay, because you told me when I told you what do I write down, you were like, don't say he needs to look like Brad Pitt with Elon Musk's bank account.
Yeah,
but,
I mean, so it's 12 characteristics or attitudes or characters. So my number one thing was kind.
Yeah.
And the one thing you always say about my partner is the kindest man alive. Not nice. I don't like nice men because then I'm like kind men. Yeah. There's a difference between the two.
Yeah.
So, for example, for me, it was important that somebody would support me in my work because my work is sometimes all-encompassing. As you know, I'm ADHD, I'm on the spectrum. So sometimes I get completely fascinated with something that I'm doing and I can't switch it off. And so I might work till 3 o'clock in the morning and then be absolutely useless the next day.
Yeah.
And someone just has to pick up the slack and just know that that's just my character. Also, I'm trilingual. So it needed to be somebody that would understand. Sometimes I'm talking in a different language in the house, not because I talk to spirits or ghosts or weird things, but you and I might speak in Arabic sometimes just because we're talking in Arabic.
And it's a good way so we don't forget the language.
But it's just sometimes we're talking about something and because we're talking about something that happened in Cairo, we'll switch into Arabic because it happened over there.
Yeah. Which makes sense.
Which makes sense to us because we were talking about someone that we know from Cairo. We'll switch into Arabic. So I needed someone to just be okay with that.
Yeah.
So things like that. Also, I like men that are around 6 foot because I'm not small. So that's quite shallow.
Yeah.
But the others are quite deep.
Yeah.
And I wanted somebody that would live close to me because I don't like driving at night.
Yeah.
Because since I've been in perimenopause, it's not anxiety, I would say. I'd say I have a less preference for driving at night because my eyes don't adjust as well as they used to.
Yeah. Those are good things, though, including the fact that you're in perimenopause and maybe a few more filters. Yeah.
So it's like, some are deep, some are shallow, some are important. Yeah. And so if you were dating, I'd say make a list of 12 things 10 of which are non-negotiable. Why? Because it will stop you compromising earlier.
Yeah.
When you actually meet somebody and you're investing your time, you're less likely to waste time on somebody that doesn't suit you. And therefore, you're weirdly less likely to get ghosted.
Yeah.
Because if you're compatible with them, they're likely to be more compatible with you. So there's more likely to be a meeting of souls there.
Yeah.
That's number one. And number two is building up your self-confidence. I want you to make a list of what you bring to the table.
Example.
I'm a funny and quirky human being.
Okay.
I know that I can make people laugh.
You are pretty funny.
I'm a joy.
I'm a joy.
No.
I am a joy. Okay.
No,
Vibe.
I can make people laugh. I can do loads of accents. I can talk in different accents. I can talk in European accents. I can talk in all the UK accents. I can make you giggle.
Facts.
Would
it help for someone else to help you write the list of good things about me?
Yeah. So if you can't write the list, text your square squad.
Yeah.
Your square squad are the people that look you square in the eyes and tell you the truth. So you'd be my square squad because you tell me the truth.
You do the same with me. I was just thinking, I asked you yesterday.
Yeah. So you'll come up to me and say, I'm not going to be offended. And I always go, oh, dear Lord, what?
Yeah.
And they're also the people that would help you bury your body. Do you know what I mean? Those kind of people that just go, I'm getting the car and the shovel. Where am I meeting you? Kind of people. So the kind of people that would help you, that would tell you the truth with love because they want the very best for you. And you would take it from them because you know that they love you that much.
Yeah, exactly.
Square squad. Square in the eyes. So text those people and say, what do you love about me? What qualities do I have?
Yeah. That's quite cute, actually, texting a few people.
And just say, what qualities do I have?
And if any match in common, that's something clearly that...
But I know I can cook.
Yeah.
I don't cook very often because I'm always working, but I can cook. I can't bake. You wouldn't want to eat a single thing that I bake. I'm a lousy baker because I don't measure anything and it gets burned because I forget what I'm doing and all that kind of stuff. But I
don't remember you baking.
Because I'm really bad at it. But you'd eat a lasagna any day of the week.
Every other lasagna is ruined. I had a lasagna the other day when I went to, and it was nice. It just didn't hit the spot.
But do you know what I mean? So there's things that you can do. Like I'm really good with animals. I'm a big lover of animals. So, you know, and there's things like, so figure out what you're good at.
Cute.
What do you bring? Okay. And date with confidence. Instead of seeing dating as a way to fix your confidence, think of it as an extension of your already complete and fabulous self.
Yeah.
Don't rush into finding someone as a way to fill a void. Be open to connections. But ensure those connections are with people that are emotionally available.
Yeah.
And aligned to your values. Confidence in dating when you know what you deserve and you're not afraid to walk away.
Yeah, yeah.
So if people don't meet your standards, you have to be not afraid to walk away.
Yeah.
And perimenopause, yes, it's a time of transformation, both physically and emotionally, but it's also a good time to remember, you know, rediscover who you are.
Yeah.
And rediscover what you want.
True.
And when you show up for a date as your most authentic, most self-assured, most beautiful self, you will naturally attract healthier and more meaningful connections.
Yeah.
We've gone way over time.
We have, actually.
But hey-ho, it was
That's
a good
okay.
one. All right, my darling, I hope that helps. And as always, if you have any questions for us, please feel free to WhatsApp us or go to the group, which is Perimenopause with Gabriella. I hope that helps. Take care and we will speak to you soon. Bye. Thanks for joining us today on the Uncomplicated Perimenopause podcast. We hope you found this episode helpful and inspiring.
Don't forget, if you have any questions or topics you'd like us to cover, you can reach out through our Perimenopause group or on WhatsApp.
For more information on my coaching, perimenopause supplements, books or upcoming events, please visit www.kategrosvenor.com.
And if you've enjoyed today's episode, please subscribe, rate and review our podcast. It really helps us reach more listeners just like you.
Until next time, remember, perimenopause doesn't have to be complicated. We're here to help you every step of the way.
Stay uncomplicated.